the Supreme Court looking at the anti-gay Baker case, a lot of these stories and videos are coming out of the woodwork. And of course, the fanatics are prevalent, as this short video from crazed zealot Greg Locke shows. But Greg, as is no surprise, has no idea what the issue actually is, or how the law works, or how society works, or, let's be honest, how much of anything works. So let's watch him make a fool of himself as he tries to make excuses for a religious bigot.
Hey guys, Pastor Greg Locke here. If you're anything like me, you're sick and tired of hearing about this homosexual cake baking nonsense.
Hey Greg. Yeah, I'm absolutely sick of hearing about it, but I'm more sick of the religious zealots who think their irrational beliefs give them license to just ignore the law. So in this video, I'm going to lay it out for you in as simple a manner as I can, so that even you can understand it, even though I'm sure you won't like it. But let's see what else you have to say.
Look, Mr. Jack out in Colorado has served homosexuals for many, many years, but it's different when you are targeted by them.
He wasn't targeted by anyone. In fact, as I understand it, the couple in question asked the baker's very religious mother for a recommendation on which baker to use, and she sent them to her son. And his mother is shocked and disappointed at how her son handled the situation. That doesn't sound like he's being targeted. It sounds like it was a legitimate referral to me.
The LGBT, ABCDEFG, whatever the foolish acronym is at this particular point, they've gone overboard.
As much as I hate the alphabet soup on the far left, I don't think they've gone overboard, at least not in this particular case. Because here's the thing, Greg. When you get a business license in this country, you inherently agree that you will follow the laws, state, local, and federal, that apply to your particular business. You don't get to opt out because of the foolish mind poison in your head. And in this case, and again, if I remember right, because I haven't looked it up, but in this case, I seem to recall that it was a local law that required all businesses to do business with the general public regardless of their silly religious beliefs.
They have fake outrage, selective drama, and why don't they get up and go try that nonsense at a Muslim bakery? See if they get their tails thrown out in the street and see what happens then. They wouldn't be suing them.
I would. Assuming you could find one that refused to do business with them, which, so far as I'm aware, there haven't been any such cases in the news. And if you happen to find one, hey, I'd say go for it, get them into court, and stop them. I'd even support an anti-discrimination case brought by a Christian against a Muslim business if the Muslims refuse to do business with Christians. No discrimination is no discrimination, period.
No, this is an absolute positive target. It is a target on evangelicals with actual convictions.
No, it's holding everyone equally responsible for following the laws of the land. Christians, evangelical or not, don't get a pass because of the crazy crap they stuff in their heads. Christians are not special, and that's exactly what idiots like Greg Locke are pushing for. Special treatment for Christianity because they happen to agree with him. And that's not how this works.
Look, time out, bucko. I don't really give the flip of a wooden nickel who you have sex with.
Apparently, you do. It's in your silly little mythical book of multiple choice. Now, I can go over to the Global Vision Bible Church website, your own church, and look at videos of you giving sermons against homosexuality. So don't be a dishonest prick, Greg, especially when you're so easy to prove wrong.
I don't care about your stupid perverted sex life.
So you don't care who anyone sleeps with, but you're going to call them perverted anyhow. Yeah, sure, Greg. Tell us another one.
But I do care when you cram it down my kids' throats in public school. I do care when every sitcom, every late-night talk show host, every comedian, every song, every movie coming out has to push the agenda. We're sick of you pushing your agenda.
Well, maybe you need to grow up and live in the real world, not the fantasy land that you insist on inhabiting. Because whether you like it or not, there are gay people in the real world, and they deserve equal treatment and equal rights to everyone else, no matter what your silly religion says.
And so at the end of the day, Mr. Jack and whoever else can serve whoever he jolly well pleases. It's his business.
Not under the law, he can't. He can't choose to not serve black people, for instance. He can't choose not to serve women. And under the law that he violated, he can't refuse to serve gay people. So you're just wrong, as usual.
Don't just target them and then have selective fake drama and outrage. Oh my goodness, we're emotionally scarred. No, you're emotionally scarred because you're a pervert and you do things that are an abomination to God.
Your ridiculous beliefs on the matter are irrelevant. This isn't some Looney Tune Christian walking down the street. This is someone opening a business to the public, getting a business license that has legal requirements that he has violated. You don't get to opt out because you believe asinine things. You can't say, well, I think it's a sin, and ignore OSHA regulations. You can't proclaim that labor laws are a violation of your faith and ignore them. It doesn't work that way.
You're not emotionally scarred because somebody won't make you a cake.
Probably not. But the baker who's in business to make cakes for anyone who wants them is violating the law when refusing to do so for any reason, including their own religious beliefs.
Are you flipping kidding me?
Nope, I'm not. Your religion doesn't make you special. The baker voluntarily accepted his legal responsibilities when he got the business license. Maybe he should have read it.
Look, if a homosexual was drowning, I would save them.
I wouldn't be holding my breath.
If a homosexual was in a home or a car that was on fire, I would save them. I would feed them, clothe them, nourish them, serve them, help them. Many, many by the dozens have been to our church.
And I'm sure you've been only too happy to tell them what terrible people they are. Because you don't care who they sleep with.
And so just because I won't perform a same-sex wedding, or because I won't make a cake, or because I have some convictions that seem to be outdated and old-timey, now I'm a bigot?
Yes, you are. Because the definition of bigot is a person who is intolerant towards those holding different opinions. You fit that definition, Greg. Figure it out.
Now I'm a discriminatory monster?
Now, I don't know if you are personally, but in this case and others like it, I'd say that discrimination absolutely went on because the baker in question was refusing to treat customers equally based on some protected class. If you are in business to bake cakes, then you bake cakes for absolutely everyone who comes through your door without discrimination, period. That's how this works.
Give me a break. Selective outrage. It's foolish. Hey, evangelical Christian, stand up and stand out. Speak up and speak out. It's a shame that this guy even has to stand before the Supreme Court. This is the United States of America.
Yeah, where, according to our founding documents, all men are created equal. Now, I don't buy into the created bit. That's just flowery language that has no meaning in the real world. But everyone is to be treated equally, to have equal rights and equal protection under the law, period. No exceptions. And it's too bad the bigots like Locke here don't understand that.
Land of the free, home of the brave. So have sex with whoever you jolly well please, but at the end of the day, don't cram it down our throats. Don't shove it all up in our face.
Yeah, I think I'll just leave these here without comment.
Go sue somebody else. I'm telling you, this is absolute foolishness, elementary nonsense that needs to stop. Because at the end of the day, you better know something. Christians have a lot more rights than you give us credit for.
No. You have exactly as many rights and no more than anyone else. Your ridiculous imaginary friend doesn't mean a damn thing to anyone. You live in a nation with a constitutionally mandated secular government that can't and won't take your absurd religion into account. You follow the laws, period. Just because you choose to bow down to a dude on a stick doesn't make you immune to rightful prosecution. Grow up, Greg.
And if we ever figure that out, we'll get whoever we want in office.
Yeah, how's that been working out for you? Because the hardline religious God-botherers have been failing miserably in every single election. Something tells me that Greg needs to open his eyes, get his nose out of that ridiculous book, and take a gander at reality once in a while. Religion, especially his religion, is failing. Miserably. For a reason.
It's time to stand, Christians, having done all to stand against this perverted nonsense of this corrupt culture in which we're living.
Living. In which you're living. Yeah, the original video does cut off just like that. And it's funny that for someone who claims that he doesn't care who anyone sleeps with, he spends a lot of time calling them names. What a hypocrite, but that's no surprise. Greg Locke is a laughable joke. He runs a tiny little church in a pissant little town in Tennessee, just outside of Nashville. But he's got a big mouth and a little following on YouTube, so he thinks he's special. Well, special in a short bus kind of way anyhow. But I'm going to do them a favor because I did come up with a way that these bigot bakers could avoid court cases like this. And that's not to do specialized custom cakes for anyone. Come up with generic designs that anyone can walk in and buy. That way, they don't have to make anything specifically for gay weddings. Because like it or not, they do have to make cakes for people they don't like. So, have a generic wedding cake. Someone buys it, takes it wherever they're going to take it, and that's the end of it. Your moral objections mean nothing in the world of business. Don't like it? Don't get a business license, because in so doing, you volunteered to be offended. Too bad, so sad, don't sign up for something, and then decide down the road that you don't like the ramifications you've agreed to. Be an adult. Deal with the reality in which you live. But that's something that Greg Locke and other evangelical idiots refuse to do, because they think they're special. Yeah, but not in any way any reasonable person would want.
Everything changes.